What is going on, guys? In today's video I will show you the top 7 best base locations in Dune Awakening. In this game, your base is not just a place to store loot, it's your lifeline. The hostile desert will demand more than just the brute force. A smart base location can save you from the sandworms, shave off a bunch of hours from the grinding, and give you a tactical advantage. No matter if you're solo or in a guild, I will show you the best spots for the early game, mid game and the end game, because they will be different. We'll also explore resource access, travel efficiency, PvP consideration, and much more. And before we continue, thanks to the U4GM, their pro website that provides Dune Awakening Solari and items on all servers, with cheap price and fast delivery. They have over 11,000 positive comments, and this website is really worth a try. So make sure to use my discount code KATE for extra 5% off. So, your first and often most smartest base location should be near a trade post, especially the Griffin's Reach in the early game. The trade posts are the main social and the logistical hub of the world. They will offer access to contract boards, merchants, trainers, and a safe Solari banking. More importantly, they will let you fast travel to the other posts and points of interest. This will save time, reduce exposure to the sandworms, and keep you close to everything that you will use consistently. Early on, you will be farming beginner resources like the iron, wood, fiber, and the salvage. You will be crafting basic tools, workbenches, and the armor. Being able to quickly hop back and forth from your base to the trade post will make the loop efficient and very safe. For hoarders and the grinders, this is a dream spot. So pick a rocky ridge just behind the trade post for the extra safety. It keeps your base out of the plain sight, and elevated terrain will help to avoid ambushes or unexpected enemy patrols. You can also scout and plan your farming routes from the high ground. If you're going solo or playing with a small crew, then this is the hands down the best start that you can get in Dune Awakening. Then next up, once you're ready to move into the mid-game content, base placement will become even more tactical. One of the best upgrades is setting your base near a scavenger camp. These areas are dense with loot, often populated by NPC enemies, carrying weapon components, mechanical parts, and rare crafting materials. If you want to start crafting rare gear, maybe stuff that helps in PvP or advanced PVE, then the scavenger camps are your gold mines. The loot refreshes frequently, so building nearby will let you do a rapid farming loop. You'll get gear, crafting mats, and XP with minimal travel time. That alone will give you a progression advantage. Plus, most enemies will often drop items that you can either way use or sell to vendors at a trade post, which helps you to rack up that Solari. Just remember to be smart with your placement. Build on a slightly higher ground behind the base or the camp, so you're not in the aggro path of the mobs. Some scavenger camps are deep into the canyons or the behind dunes, which can offer natural protection for your base while still keeping the action close by. Overall, this location is perfect for players who like a mix of combat, loot farming, and crafting. Then next, another mid-game location are on the top of the harkonnen or the Atreides village. Faction villages will offer a very strategic base option, especially if you are aligning with either way the Harkonnen or the Atreides. These villages will give you access to faction-based quests, loot, and the services. Plus, you can earn reputation, which unlocks exclusive bonuses, materials, and even cosmetic upgrades. Many of these faction bases are built on higher terrain or the rocky cliff, which makes them ideal for base building. Being up high will give you a tactical view of the area, natural defenses, and help you to spot threats before they even arrive. Also, being near a faction area also gives you a consistent supply of the friendly NPCs who might help you deter raids or the attackers. And if you're into PvP or the contract objectives, then you will find action nearby. That means faster questing, quicker loot runs, and easier access to your faction infrastructure. However, not all zones are created equal, though the Harkonnen area might be more lucrative but will come with higher risk in PvP. And then Atreides territory may offer a safer and more peaceful progression path, so choose based on your playstyle. Either way, building near a faction village will lock you into a solid mid to late game location. Then for number 4 location, we have close to the Fremen Caves. These Fremen Caves are hidden gems. They're tucked away in cliffs, valleys, and the deep rock faces, and often contain spice depots, rare plants, and ancient relics. These materials are used for crafting advanced items, potions, and debuffs. Some Fremen Caves are even tied to a major lore or quest, which gives you a roleplay and progression angle all in one. If you're planning to play the long game, then setting up a shop near one of these caves is a top tier strategy. You'll be able to consistently farm materials materials that are hard to find elsewhere. The trick here is not to build right at the cave's entrance. Instead, find the elevated ground nearby that offers a bit of cover, but keeps you within the walking distance. Fremen caves are often in isolated regions, so having a standbike or the buggy will help them to make these setups viable. Overall, this spot is perfect for players interested in deep lore, rare crafting and avoiding the noisy middle of the map. Then for number 4 location, we have on the same island as the anvil, aka the rift area. When you hit that spot from mid to late game, resource efficiency will become king, and that's where the island with the anvil and the rift will come in. This area is rich with the cobalt crystals, plasteel and the high-end mining zones. If you crafted a buggy with a miner laser, and you should, then this zone will turn into a personal jackpot. The rift itself will offer dense crystal spawns, and it can be used for cobalt paste, which is required for a ton of high-tier crafting. By placing your base on the same island, you're effectively cutting your farming and the travel time in half. You'll be gathering more, safer and faster. And the cherry on top is that you can fast travel to and from the anvil via the trade post system. This means that your base, though remote, is always within the reach. This flexibility makes it one of the best setups for solo players and the small groups alike. I recommend to look for rocky terrain with a good buggy access and avoid sand traps or the narrow passes where ambushes might occur. Then for one of the last ones, we have the outer edge of the map, aka the desert rim zones. As you get stronger, build better gear and unlock more mobility options, you will start valuing peace and safety over the raw proximity. And that's when the outer edge of the map will become the perfect location. While the desert rim may seem barren or too far from the trade posts, it actually offers long-term advantages. Fewer players will get out there, meaning less PvP pressure. Then the sandworm spawns are also lower thanks to the more solid terrain. And the best of all, you can often claim passive untouched spots, which is ideal for expanding your base or staging a very large group operation. This location is ideal for the late game player, especially those in a guild or in alliance. If you're farming high-end gear or preparing for the endgame PvP, then this is your heaven. Just make sure that you have at least one base or a spawn point closer to the central hubs for the fast travel access. But besides that, I recommend to use this location to stash your best loot, plan raids or experiment with the base design, without being in any risk. And now finally, we have one of the most effective but least talked about base spots, aka the floating plates that sit near what we call resource triangles. These are zones where there are 3 or more highly yield resources, like the salvage, plant fibers and the crystals, that naturally converge. Having all of these 3 resources within one farming loop is a massive time saver. The floating plates are ideal because they provide elevation for scouting and defenses. They are hard to reach for the raiders and offer space for vertical builds and multiple workbenches. The key here is to identify these spots using your map and exploration. And once found, set up your base slightly off the center, so that you don't interrupt the resource spawn cycle. You can easily farm in the 3 directions, then return to the base without ever needing to leave the area. This is the ultimate setup for efficiency-focused player, or those who want to solo their way through the most of the game. So, let me know what you think about these and other base locations in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, then you definitely don't want to miss my previous video, where I showed you the best building guide, most OP character builds and much more. So click the screen now and I'll see you in the next one.